Today's video is a tech video. This video has to do with essentially trying to perform resets with Yoshimitsu. Now, this isn't particularly anything new for those that already know how to play Yoshimitsu, but for those that still want some, new tech, new flowcharts they can perform with him. This is how you perform the tech. Now, what I just done there was that as soon as I go for the forward 3 into 4, I'll then go into, my back transition, or in this case, my back turn stance, and I go for flash. Now, if the opponent decides to then immediately side okeme, I am then able to then go for flash, and if they attack me at that moment, I can then pull off the flash and get a counter hit against the opponent. Now, this requires you to have the opponent at a bound, and you have to be in your no sword stance. So as long as the opponent is in a bound and you are in your no sword stance, you can do several things. You can do one, this particular route. You can do the second route. Or of course, you can try to perform your forward 3 into 4. Either of these 3 routes are good choices you can go for against the opponent if they decide to go for an immediate side okeme and then perform your flash if they attempt to attack. The issue with this particular route, this reset, is that if they decide to then immediately go for a wake up kick, then this completely deters them from actually getting hit by this particular reset trap. And if they decide to go for a regular back roll, then this completely stops you from even attempting to hit them as they're too far away. But if they do go for a quick recovery, then you can still beat them if they decide to do that. Which in a way does give you a bit of oki, and you can still perform other tricks against the opponent right afterwards. Now, if they do attempt to go for, let's say, a backwards roll, then you may go for down 1 or any of your other strings while you're back turn to use against the opponent. If they decide to stay grounded and just go for a regular side roll, not a side okeme, you can still go for down 1 as your finisher against the opponent. But if they side roll to your right side, or their right side I should say, then you can't really hit them with the down 1. But you can hit them with down 4. Same thing if they decide to go for the side roll to the left side instead. You can still perform down 4. So if you want to just option select and just go for down 4 instead of going for down 1 for more damage, then you can decide that instead. Now, this particular trick can also be done at the wall. I already made a video particularly on this, but just in case, I'll just added it into this video instead, so that way you can also perform it. Again, you have to be in the sword stance, and once you get your bound, you go for forward 3, 4. In fact, it's easier to perform this particular trick as you're much closer to the target, and if they do get up or attempt to attack, you can hit them with your flash. But as a reminder that if they still decide to go for any wake up kicks, they can still hit you out of it, though you can hit them from the last set of the forward 3 into 4, but right afterwards if they decide to continue pressing a wake up mid kick or wake up low kick, then you'll still get hit by that move, unless you immediately get away or block right afterwards. So just to showcase that it does work, this particular attack, the enemy has to be in a situation where they're bound, and then if they immediately side okeme and going for an attack, I can then flash them. But depends on the attack accordingly. If they just hold back and then they attack, it will whiff. But if they attempt to attack me immediately, I can catch them off guard. So as you can see, it does work. Depending on what they can do, you can actually immediately hit them with the flash, as long as they hit you or attempt to hit you immediately. If they pause, or if they slightly step back, or just hold back like this, then it would not function well. So that is all. The video is to entail exactly how to perform this particular type of reset flowchart or tech trap against the opponent. Just to preface this, in order to make this work, the enemy has to be at a very high sense of mental frames where they're already pressured and they are already too impatient to then wait it out and see exactly what the Yoshimitsu is going to do right afterwards. If you do this in the beginning of a round or beginning of a match against an opponent that does not know your patterns, then there's a big chance that they're going to wait it out and then just see exactly what you'll do next. But if you do this against them in the later rounds, while they have already built the mental frames against them, then the likelihood of this working has a much higher chance. So again, if you want to use this against the opponent, go ahead. I'll leave this in, and yeah, that's about it. So if you like the video, give the video a like, dislike if you want to, it still helps me out anyways. Subscribe to see more of my shit, and yeah, stay tuned, stay safe.